broadcast live.
Slicker than most.
What's up? Touch to the line.
Good.
Touchdown.
It's my pagati, you know.
I got you inside. Yeah. Touchline. Thanks for touching down.
Yeah, we here.
How you doing, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year to everybody, actually. Shout out. We back. It's 2022. It's our first backyard. You know, we got Touchline. It's about, you might be the first album to drop, the first hip-hop artist to drop a full album, you know, this year also.
Yeah.
You know, possibly. You know.
Yeah.
That we know of. Hip-hop artist. I'm not talking about not Benjamin who dropped the double album. No, not talking about him. I'm talking about he sings a bit.
Yeah.
So here we go, man. How you doing?
Mina ngimnandi.
Unpacks.
Semandleni.
Bathini team.
Positive. Tembisa nyaka as always, you know. Everybody's busy just hustling, you know. Everybody wakes up in the morning and tries to achieve something. Abanye not in the best ways, you know. But yeah, customer, everyone's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think there was the thing that stood out on the album, S.O.O.N, right? Like, firstly, break down the acronym S.O.O.N.
Yeah, something out of nothing. Concept I came up with around 3 years ago. So I did a project called S.O.O.N, the first one, you know. I was just rapping on everybody's beats at that time, before I ever dropped any project of my own, where I actually did my actual stuff. So something out of nothing, around 2018. And I just felt like it's been like a whole 360 or 180 or 360, I think, because I came back, you know, to where I started in a sense, you know. I needed to reset, you know, and just forget about everything that has happened in the last 3 years, because, you know, it was difficult to navigate the game in a sense. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take it back all the way and just try again, you know, like it was S.O.O.N, the first one. Yeah.
I think when you come back and like now you want to shit on people, you know, when you're like Kanye West, you must just put like a UM in front of it.
I'm trying to decode that. UM.
Yeah.
All right, I was thinking it's still an acronym, but I see you turned it into vernac. Yeah. Don't say it out loud. All right.
I'll let you out. You know, the one thing that really stood out for me, you know, in this all, and I think this was the most important kind of thing, and it comes at the end. You say this on Peace Hunting, you know. You say something like, I'm happiness chasing, love pursuing, peace hunting, to be something, to be someone. That's all I want. Achieve something, win something, be number one. For me, those lines literally like were, because they were on the last song even, you know, they literally encapsulated sort of like your journey, just trying to break from being at Ghetto Rough, you know, going through the challenges of going through that to find yourself and being independent. I mean, what are some of the biggest challenges for you that you are having to be these lines that you've just said here, you know?
Yeah. I think in the saying, you know, without any real support, and gunning for your dreams, you know, like each and every single day, being your own man, not relying on anybody, but still putting pressure on yourself to achieve it. You know, to not be like, because, you know, Slikour is not in my corner, then it's okay if I lose, you know? And that's why I said, Guti, I want to be something, achieve something, be number one, you know? And sometimes it's not about being number one. It's just about being something, right? Because hence the concept of something out of nothing. We don't come from a place where things happen for us. You know, we come from a place where we have to try and make things happen. And just to be something in this life, man, that's just all we want, you know? So, abazali bazothi, okay, uThabo simkhulisile mara khona into ayenzi, you know? And that's where that energy comes from. just trying each and every single day to get, closer or further sometimes, further away from your problems.
I mean, the funny thing about life is that you move further away from the problems, but you're a stranger to new problems.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they know problems. You're just a stranger to new
You're
problems.
always creating new problems.
Yeah,
further you go.
What is this something that what defines this something? And funny enough, we're having almost a similar conversation earlier on about like age. And what is this something though? What is this something in our heads that we think that is gonna validate us? What is it? And from a Touchline perspective, what is that something that will validate a kid from a Tembisa, who feels like the odds are up against him, the game that he's in, if it's not too mainstream in one angle, it's too upmarket in another angle for other people who are supposed to be a certain way. It seems like, like the odds are stacked up against him. So what is this something? Is it breaking those walls, or is there something else,
I think for me, it's just being able to be recognized as a hero to some kids, I realized something as I was coming up. There's this idea that we have in terms of success, especially in the rap game, right? It's got to be the guy that has the best car, the flashiest chain, just the typical. I would say, how the Americans live the rap dream. That's what we thought success would be over here, right? Up until you realize, we're actually fighting a different struggle, and that's why. My whole angle was the ghetto kids, right? Because that's where I come from. And I realized, there's more power in actually standing for something than to just be a person who just lives for himself. So it didn't become, when I say something, I'm not speaking about necessarily financial or, I'm just speaking about moving away from those barriers, right? That keep you in the same place. And if I can find myself in a place where kids can look up to me and say, wow, this guy is still like us. He's exactly like us, but he's made something of himself, And when you're starting from the ground up, bro, anywhere where La Kupuka corner is a good place to be at, And that's why I need to just be something. Yeah, what?
From the ground, any level is good. Any level above ground is good.
Yeah. The only way you can go below that is the grave, right?
Yeah.
So you just keep rising, right? I can never be where I was, bro. Because I'm just gonna keep on striving to become better.
I mean, for me, I don't know whether it's also like a self-validation that you have, because you also say that like when God threw you on earth, he wasn't literate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a line, it's like a rap line, but it also sounds like a self kind of validation line where like, and the thing about us is that you can say that, look, I'm not as big as that artist and I'm not as small as this artist, but it goes back to the idea of I'm above the ground I came in.
Yes, sir.
And any level above that is success, no matter what anyone else sees,
Yeah.
The self-validation where you say, when God threw me on earth, he wasn't literate. I mean, is that like also you almost like convincing yourself of how important you are, more than it just being a line that's like, yo, it's a cool line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. The reason why I didn't drop music in the past 3 years, really, 2 years, I didn't drop a lot of music was because it came from a place of self-doubt, right? And fearing. I was scared, right? Because I broke in a sense, and people were, everybody was trying to advise me, right? I think, and then it's a good thing because they saw potential and they're like, you could easily be at the top, right? But there are still things that I needed to navigate. And that anxiety sort of made me doubt myself and doubt the importance that I have, that I hold in other people's lives, right? Like some kids listen to me more than they listen to any other artist. But I'm not able to see that because ngiphandla ile shandisi eyenzeka ku social media. I'm told this is how the biggest artists are. You know, this is how that guy is. This is the kind of song that you need to make. You know, this is where you need to be, right? And me saying ukuthi uNkulunkulu mangilahlele estradini beyangangcolisi la. Yangithola is me saying ukuthi there was a purpose there. Regardless of me knowing what that purpose is or not, or how other people may perceive what's happening, there's still a huge level of importance and a huge role that I play in the balance of the game, the balance of society also, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is.
Do you sometimes feel that, like, and even within these 3 years, do you feel that you are sometimes trapped by what's popular on social media, which really wasn't what your idea was of what you want to create for yourself, and you found yourself creating in the trap of what's popular in social media, or what's trendy, or what's the most conversational thing? Do you think that, like, you found yourself stuck in that and you
Definitely.
couldn't really position yourself? Do you feel you lost time?
Yeah.
If anything.
Definitely. And I don't blame myself for that because I was very new in the game, you know? Cabanga mabuye Tembisa njengami, and then so sekimini abantu bakubona bakrecognize amakhudmani uSlikour sekaqava. Now you're like, so ufuna ukuqava ukuthi what's the next move, right? But you don't know what the next move is because nobody's going to guide you. No one's going to say now is the right time to do this, or you know, you're not really sure. So when things were happening at the time, I found myself very confused, you know, very confused. And I had to go back to a place where I was like, hey, okay, Utabo, when he was in high school and when he was starting to write, what was that thing that I found we true and taught? And then I started bigging myself up. I was like, you know what, Mara, I'm not where I was. So I've got nothing to lose, right? The things are in my favor, they're not against me. And that's when I started to be more bold, you know? I remember I reached out to you and I needed some advice, you know? Because I felt like I had lost track of what I was trying to do, you know? And I remember when we dropped I'll Always Have Me, that was a very bold move for me because it's literally a song that I wrote during a very difficult time. And I was like, okay, this is not a radio single or whatever, but I'm gonna back this song because it's me being as honest as I possibly can.
And it's also fair to say that, like, I mean, I think 12 months before that, you had dropped Abafana Bahot or something.
Yeah.
And I'll Always Have Me literally, like, was played like 4 times more than Abafana Bahot, like quadruple the numbers, you know?
Yeah.
Which kind of, I mean, but I always said to you, Abafana Bahot is a harder song, you know? But I guess it kind of like also says when you kind of come in the control of where you want to be, you know?
Yes, sir.
It kind of, you can then go to Abafana Bahot from a context of where you want to be. But it seems like you had Abafana Bahot as a guy who was desperately trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a bad move, but it was where your mind was at.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it was a great song, but your mind wasn't ready to be there.
And I think the universe caught that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was like, we can't give you what you want right now. You're not ready.
But you got the Abafana Bahot is a brilliant song. And it's crazy. It's like, what a great song. Great feature. One of the greatest on it also,
Definitely.
you know? But you're not gonna get what you're gonna get because you came in with fear and not with a full understanding of what needs to happen.
Umoya wami bongekho kuqina. I don't think my spirit was in the right place. You know, I was too confused. I was, you know, I mean, obviously the song was made with conviction. You know, even KO sending his verse back, everything was smooth. It was great, right? But I think for me, because I didn't have an understanding of this, I even lost sort of like an understanding of myself. it made it ukuthi things couldn't move the way they needed to move. Because I wasn't in alignment with what I was trying to create and achieve. You know, so you're very, very right when you say that.
You're even supposed to sign with them, eh?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, we spoke. We spoke, you know, we spoke. And at the time, you know, as much as I was still in a place where I was trying to find myself, I felt like, yeah, I need to find myself before making a move like that. I need to really understand how much I can control what I want to do, you know? And I'm very happy with that decision, you know? I needed to do things on my own terms, in my own way, you know? And understand myself as an artist, as a brand, you know? You can't relinquish a brand if you to understand you, because people are gonna mess with it. They're gonna be like, lo akazazi mo, so masithi akayenze so uzoyenza, you know. But I understand myself as a person, but I need to understand myself as a brand.
As an artist,
you know.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's just so much that's on peace hunting. It's like for me, peace hunting literally like is that whole album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From a who you are perspective.
Yeah.
Versus like it's like that's where a person can get to know you. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, you I just loved how you described the girls who are trying to hustle, you know, and get their lives forward, but you know, and they got to do things that are, some people would say, scandalous, right? But I love how you literally like just, it's almost like you made them, you shame them, and then you kind of give them empathy again at the same time, you know, and you go, they grew up without dad, so when they pray Our Father, it slaps harder. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I mean? It's like you literally just put it there. It's like these girls are going through this. Yes, they want the material things they want, but you know, they actually never grew up with dad. So when you pray Our Father, that slaps harder. Yeah. Man, that I don't know how else to put it. You know, that was an incredible line. You know what I mean? It slapped me hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you have to be able to look at both sides of the coin each and every single time. As a writer, that's what I strive to do, you know? And I always say, Guti, you know, I write things that people already think. I just say them in things they can't think of saying, you know, in ways that they can't think of saying. And I think that is just one of those moments where you have to look at society and obviously we all go out, we see how girls are living, we see how Amachita are living, you know, the decisions we make. But as a black kid in Fetu, you gotta understand, everything happens from a certain place. It doesn't just happen. So, you know, because people always shame our sisters, you know, for like being with blessers, you know, guys that buy them the alcohol, you know, social media is full of that, you know. And I think what I was presenting over there, you know, that's why I was saying, you know, but they grew up without fathers. So when they pray Our Father, it slaps way harder, you know. You gotta understand, Uti, for some of them, it's the only opportunity to live that kind of life. They never understood what it was. And you, who grew up with both parents, don't understand that. So you just shame them. You who grew up with money, you don't understand that. So you're just like, I'm chilling out. But if you actually had a little more empathy, which I think is something that the world lacks, if you had a little more empathy, you'd understand Uti, Lente is bigger than all of us, you know? In every angle, not even just with women, but with Amachita too. You know, you gotta understand a person's story so you can understand their decisions.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would get into trouble for this, but like, you know, you kind of balance it around and you go, a guy who's never been around a mother or hasn't had a mother figure literally sometimes won't know how to take care of a woman just generally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's very,
you know, it's like, it's the same goes as in, you know, like if a man hasn't, you either as a woman, you either totally like dismiss a man, or you either see a man for, if you've never had him in your life, or you either see a man for, okay, that's what he said, that's what he does, and that's all he does. It's like two roots in it. You know what I mean? And as a woman, and like I said, as a guy also, it's either you when you meet a woman, you totally don't know what to do, or you totally defensive and you're aggressive because you've never been in that space of being taken care of by a woman. And these are things that are happening in Black communities, that by the time they hit Twitter, no one is actually thinking about like the fact that a lot of young Black people are coming from broken families. A lot of young Black people are coming from families where they're not teaching about like how to treat a woman, or how to, or whatever the role of a man in a house, whether negative or positive. You know what I mean? Those teachings are mostly like left in rural places, and people who've carried them in the cities also have literally been. But no one is saying that this is what's happening in the hoods by the time it hits social media. And I think as a community, I mean, we've detached ourselves from reality also. And that's why we can't fix these issues that we have with GBV, with just like respect across the board, because we're always trying to fix them from a social platform and not from our social living every day. And that's what you do well with your lyrics, I mean, I was just looking at like actions over captions, like the lines there, he says he's a gladiator. I'm glad he just ate a piece. I'm glad he just ate a piece of humble pie.
So he says he's a gladiator. I mean, I'm just gladiator, a piece of that humble pie.
And even if I die, as long as I die on the top, nothing changing in your lizard,
Yeah, it's Shukela in your lizard.
I mean, and also you go back and you do this contradictory, this kind of, there's a word for it in English, Juxtapose. You choose asses over assets, actions over captions, love over looking like when love, make money, don't act rich. I put money under the mattress, but still I don't sleep on this bag. I get the cash quick. Those contradictory kind of like extremes that you play with, when you are writing, do you purposely just like, are they coming naturally? Or is it, do you like look for it? Do you like fish for these things, these lines as they come? Because as a writer, if anyone hasn't written before, things either come naturally, or you either like literally like sitting there with your pen doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd say natural, it's the way I think I've trained my brain. Even no matter what story you tell, you gotta be able to entertain, because that's what people take home with them. I always say, you can go watch a stadium, right? But once somebody gives you a little bit of flair, that's the moment you take away from that whole experience. And that's why I loved Ronaldinho so much, because I'd always take away a certain thing that he did. It wasn't just a match for me. It was like, hey, and I'll take that moment away with me, and it would live with me forever. It's a memory, right? And I figured, when I pick up that pen, I need to give people moments. And that's why there'll be like really important moments in the Touchline verse. Because you have to say something that's gonna grab, especially for people that don't listen to hip hop. You have to say something but you have to say it in a way that interests them. Singapore. Don't be literal. A lot of people are just literal. Like, you're telling us something that we could have written ourselves. And we don't write, We thought it was like next. But if you open this opportunity for kids that are listening to it, and you paint this picture, right? And imagine this kid is in the dark, but he can really see the pieces just moving because you have painted it in words. That's what I think I strive for all the time. I won't say I necessarily strive for it, but like I said, I'm geared to think that way. So naturally, it just flows, That's where the punchlines come from. Because I can say the story without having that, but I want people to take that moment away. I want them to want to quote something.
That's crazy, man. I was also looking in Shukela, who's on the production in that?
So that is DJ Nova, and Uzolile. Zolile Khatev, and it was touched by Shakespeare also. So yeah, man, those are the guys that produced that.
Abapeli, you say Funu Big Mama. Just as a side note, what is the type? What is the type? Yeah, Touchline.
I'm that type, pick up.
How that type?
Yeah. I mean, Slender, Big Mama. But you know that lyric. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't really have a type, right? It's the same. It's like beats, right?
Are you saying a woman is like a beat?
Yes,
Okay.
for this reason, right?
Okay, cool.
If somebody had to go on YouTube and say Touchline type beat, Unama. Yeah, because
Yeah.
so I'll probably listen to that beat. I'm like, I would never jump on this.
Yeah.
Because why is the beat
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing with like umamis, yabo?
Yeah.
Ukuthi, it's all about the features that just come together, right? Whether she's big, whether she's slender, whether she's dark, whether she's light skinned, it's all about how it came together.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why I'm saying I'm likening a woman to music,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you can send me a beat and say I'm gonna jump on this,
Yeah.
but no, it's not. It didn't give me the feeling.
Yeah.
So the same thing with a woman, Angaba slender, but angangai that thing.
Yeah.
Ube sing slender, sinkai that thing. It's all about like how the package comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now you know, ladies. It's, now you're confused. I don't think you answered. Now there was a girl that was sitting there saying, "Should I bite this chicken or not?" What do I do? Okay, let me just not finish the chicken. Let me bite half of it.
Sure.
I mean, free mode. You try getting my circle like a pie chart if ever we want the.
Cut into my circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Tell me about what DJ Sabi. You give them a shout out. They gave you a break. Tell me about that story. What happened there? With DJ Sabi,
And Zandy.
Sure. DJ Zandy, which I found out is Lady Du's uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave me a break on radio, to actually have my song played. I remember, way before that, like Dalanyana. I can't remember who was doing the hip hop Hot 99, and they plugged the song of ours in there. But these two guys were the first guys that would, Sabi would tweet me on some, I like what you're doing, and he would play the song on radio and say some positive stuff about it. And I'd always catch that, and I'm like, this is not something that I should take for granted, And Zandy came through with the same sort of like love for me, Has always been a fan of the way I rap, and I know that in certain conversations he would step up for me when people were doubting me. So I just appreciated the fact that they were willing to give me a chance.
Yeah. What was your Christmas like? I mean, we in December, you opened with a South African Christmas. Your Christmas definitely wasn't merry. Well, at least from the intro,
Yeah.
What was your Christmas like?
The past Christmas. The past Christmas was hell,
merry.
Man. Nah, it wasn't merry at all. I slept because so South African Christmas I wrote that maybe in the morning of the 24th. So the 24th, Christmas Eve. I was in the studio and I just thought of just doing the song. So it was late. But I was like, yo, Shakes, I'm pulling over, bro. I need to save it. And then obviously I recorded the song, and then on Christmas in the morning, shot the video. Right. So in the AMs, maybe number one next in, so we were busy shooting the video. And then during the day on Christmas, everybody's chilling. I'm still editing lyrics, I haven't slept in 2 days because I've been busy with the song. And then I think we uploaded at some point in the afternoon. And that was the end of my Christmas, bro. Yeah. So now people are like, now it's going viral. This song is just viral. I just wake up like in intervals, just see what's happening. Like, oh, 100,000 views. Oh, okay, let me retweet. You know,
Yeah.
that's how my Christmas was like, man. There was just a certain conviction in me to say what I wanted to say. So it was work. It wasn't a case of just gonna enjoy Christmas and take some time off.
You were giving the gifts
I had to be
of the gift
gift.
that
Yeah.
you have. That
Yeah.
you have.
You know, we're in danger.
So I'll always have me. Everybody wants to know who broke your heart, you know? And do you still always have you or LP after the song? What is happening? You know?
I mean, you know, so the song is not only about heartbreak. And third,
Yeah, I know, but like we know the other parts. We can work out the other parts on our own. There's just this one part we can't work out on our own.
yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, you go through moments.
Please also put your word on the table for the haters.
Oh, in case they say
Yeah.
Mans.
Yeah. Just for the haters.
It's cool.
Yeah.
For the cameras also, we made
Yeah.
sure, you know. So ban Rafa,
No. Actually, the guys that are paying us, we should be drinking the Valpre. We should be drinking Valpre water right now.
man.
Can we please get some stock there, Coca-Cola, please?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, I mean, I'm obviously going to make this a long answer because I don't want to answer this question.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, empilweni hlangana nomuntu, you know, is going to rock your world a little bit. I just found myself in a place where Big No, you know, a young flame that I was like kicking it with, you know, it was dope.
So Touchline's heartbreaks. Continue.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was just an unfortunate situation. You know, here I am, you know.
What the hell? You just did this. You said, here I am. You just did a Michael Jackson of me.
I mean, it's
so they,
it's one of those
break
things.
your heart.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't know if they broke my heart, but I was heartbroken. Yeah, well, I don't know. Did I break my own heart? But something happened, you know? And yeah, I went through the emotions. And I was always telling people, I wrote that song during that interview. You know, I went off social media completely.
Oh, I remember when you went up. I thought that you was a creative. Can't you spell in Tembisa?
It was creative also.
This man. I remember when you went to social media and you're like, no, I'm just don't wanna. I'm like, oh, can't you go busy?
No.
I'm a heartbreaks.
Yes, you know what the honest truth is.
Heartbreaks and unprofessional.
No, I mean, I didn't go off because of the girl. I went off because at the time a lot of things were just blurry, right? And I felt like every single time I'm on social media, Mboni Zinto, and I'm like, I'm
think of her.
No.
All the time.
No. Every time I'm on social media, I'm too busy watching other people live.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you know, I need to get my mind right. I need to get my life correct. Yeah. And it just so happens with during that time, I was going through that. So it just made sense. Like so yeah.
The S.O.O.N album is out.
Yeah.
Right now. Touchline. You can get it on all streaming platforms, you know. Is this, you call it an album or is it an EP? What is it?
It's songs that I put together and I'm saying the people will decide what it is, you know. But me, the album proper later this year.
Okay. You'll decide what it is out there right now.
Yeah.
It's called S.O.O.N 2. Go out and get it on all streaming platforms. Boy Touchline. It's I think it's 8 or 9 tracks. 10 tracks. Not bad. I wasn't even counting. I just tried to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 10 tracks. So it's obviously got Abafana Bahod. So it's obviously got Always Have Me. It also has my hits from last year. Amasi, you know.
Yeah.
You know. Another new joints on it, like 6. I don't know whether you played me 6 before because I felt like I knew it, you know. Happy party songs like 6, you know.
Yeah.
Man. Anything else you want that we're not covering that people should check out on the album?
Um, I mean, the song that I'm most excited about is probably Shukela. You know, it's a love song. You know, and angisho bengasekho mnandi endaweni zothando yangithola.
Yeah. So now
I mean,
good. Now you want her to hear this song.
No, it's not
I'm
about
not
her.
the guy.
That, this one is about something different, and just something that made me happy, and I felt like Sugar that just is a happy tune, I'm sure girls they're like, yeah, but we're not, you don't make music for us, because that's a cause. The thing is, I always prioritize this is easy, and the relationship aspect of my life is not really something that's popping. I'm not really into relationships. Yeah, I'm into women, but I'm not into
It's okay. You can come out here.
The only long-term investment that I make right now is umtu,
Yeah.
So something like a girl is not really something that is really that important to me right now. But I think it was a breath of fresh air for me to be able to make something happy about being in love, because these are emotions that I also feel.
Yo, make sure you get soon too. You know what I mean? Don't get too committed, girls. Just enjoy the music. Shukela's the joint, though. You should check out.
Definitely, track 3. I'm also Actions Over Captions is also a very important one for me.
Actions Over Captions is actually very important. Have you played that for me? You have played that.
I might have sent it to you last year.
Yeah, because I thought I've heard it. It's not out
yet. The Actions Over Captions, no. It played on radio
shit. Okay,
week,
then
that's it.
Oh shit, I'm listening to it like people. Yo, Actions Over Captions. Yo.
Very important joint for me, and it's just one of those things where I got into this pocket where I was starting to be more personal with what I write, I realized the power of words. I never used to really understand them until recently. I was always a wordsmith, but I started understanding Guti. It's about what you say and how you say it, but what does it mean for people? Example, last night I was at a show, Eval, and some guy came with plastic that had shoes, right? Worn out shoes. And he called me to the corner. He's like, I want to show you something. And then he showed me the shoes. He's like, look at this, right? I don't know this guy. And he's like, on Ghetto Kids Next Up, he said, reach under the bed to find those shoes that I just don't want to wear. Marangna choice because there is no other pair. And he's like, that line, right, is the reason why he brought the shoes to the show. And I was taken aback by that. And, for him to open himself up like that, because those shoes didn't look good. But I know what it's like to have shoes that don't look good. And I think that in his mind, he felt like I can relate because I've spoken about it. And it's like, look at me and you, we're the same. And it's incredible, man, what music does for other people, beyond what it does for artists.
Yeah.
It changes our lives, but I think it changes other people's lives on another level, And that's why songs like Actions Over Captions, Peace Hunting, South African Christmas, I'll Always Have Me, these are very important songs for me. I'm always gonna have songs like those on a project,
It's almost like if you can give the therapy, if it gives you therapy by virtue, you will be a therapist.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yo, the album's out soon too. Whatever you want to call it. The album is coming, but soon to the mixtape. Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just take it in. Take the words.
Thank you so much, man.
Please, man.
Continue being the OG of the game. We appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Shout out of Tembisa to the world. Peace.
Broadcast live